Your first alert forecast with meteorologist Corey Thompson.
Dubuque's one of the spots that's seen a little snow that stuck as it moved through earlier this morning. Roadways, though, not looking too bad from our city cam view. You can see the street down below looking pretty clear. Parking lots, not as much. Less traveled surfaces and untreated surfaces would be a little slicker than the others so far today. Temperatures in the low 30s so far today as well. Dubuque at 32 degrees, Washington at 34. As the snow moves in, temperatures have dropped just a couple degrees, which has made a difference in some cases. Temperatures, when you factor in the wind, feel more like the upper teens to low 20s. And it's the snow potential that we're highlighting here on your first alert. Possibility of a little rain mixing in at times, but for the most part, I think we're staying just plain snow as it moves through. There's some wind out there too. Fortunately, the snow is light, or is wet enough rather, that blowing snow not a huge concern with this, but it will add to that wind chill as we go through the day. Winter weather advisory in effect for the areas shaded in this purple color does include areas like Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, as well as Maquoketa and Dubuque. That's where snow accumulation is possible, and among other areas too, but it's where some of the heavier bands of snow have moved through so far. If we pinpoint just a little bit closer here, you can see where it's moved into the Iowa City Coralville area. Some pretty heavy returns showing up on radar closer to Cedar as well as Scott County, and that is moving to the south too. It's really that initial push that has been providing some of the initial and decent accumulation at times. And that's why we have roads listed as completely covered here in Jones as well as Cedar County. Lynn County right now reported as partially covered, same as in Iowa County. Back up toward the north where the snow has tapered off just a bit, still reporting partially covered roadways up that way too. Pinpoint Futurecast over the next several hours takes this mass of snow and just kind of moves it to the southwest a little bit. Not a lot of westerly progress at this point. I think our northwestern counties may miss out on the bulk of it. As it does, though, it starts to shrink a little bit and mostly move on by later this evening. This is 10 o'clock on Pinpoint Futurecast where the snow does leave and then it becomes much more scattered. Could have a few leftover bits as we go toward tonight, but by the start of Friday, things should be drier and starting cloudy, but then more sun moves in after that. Now, in terms of snowfall amounts, traced to 2 inches for the areas here highlighted in white. That's a little bit of a change from this morning if you joined us on the morning show, adding that potential for a higher amount. I still think the vast majority of folks within this area receive about an inch or so of very wet snowfall accumulation. And it's really the slick roads that we're worried about in terms of providing, well, a little trouble if you're out there driving. Temperatures, though, may still yet warm a few more degrees. And as they do, that should improve road conditions or at least help road crews out there as they meet the mid-30s. But remember, for us, as winds out of the northwest between 15 to 25 stick with us, temperatures will feel more like the 20s. Same story tomorrow. We'll keep the breeze around, but we'll lose the precipitation and eventually lose the clouds. Leads towards sunnier conditions as we head toward the weekend, and then colder conditions as we head toward New Year's. There's a cold front that moves through this weekend. Not a lot of precipitation expected with it, just because we won't have a lot of moisture around as it moves by. Next week looking dry too. After today, it's fairly quiet. It comes after a very active week after that storm system that really started Saturday, and we've been kind of dealing with the effects of it since then. But this is the last little bit with it.
Yeah, and it feels like almost the most impactful too as far as snow goes.
Yeah, and for sure, in terms of affecting travel or some such along those lines. I mean, we had lots of rain over the Christmas holiday, but you were still able to get around. Today, still able to get around. You just need to use your head, be smart about it.
Exactly. We've done this every winter.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Corey.